Write the partial fraction decomposition of the rational expression 6x plus 5 over x squared plus 2x. Now the first thing we need to do the partial fraction decomposition is we want to factor the denominator. So we can factor out an x from each term, and what's left over is x plus 2. So what we want is we want our partial fraction decomposition to be some number a over x plus some number b over x plus 2. And now we've got to figure out what a and b are. So let me rewrite what we've got so far. So we want 6x plus 5 over x times x plus 2 to be equal to this partial fraction decomposition. So the first thing I want to do is to get rid of the denominators by multiplying by the LCD. And the LCD is x times x plus 2, right? So I want to multiply both sides of the equation by x times x plus 2. So what ends up happening on the left is that this x times x plus 2 cancels out with this one here. So on the left, we're just left with 6x plus 5. Now on the right, we have to distribute this value to each term. So let's do that in one shot. Let's do that, distribute first, and then we'll reduce in the next step. So this is going to be a times x plus x plus 2 over x, and then b times x plus 2 over x plus 2. So now on the right, these x's cancel out and these x plus 2's cancel out, right? So now our new equation is 6x plus 5 is equal to a times x plus 2 plus b x. So now, simplifying, we got 6x plus 5 is equal to ax plus 2a plus bx. And then I want to group all the x's together and factor it out. So in one step, we got 6x plus 5 is equal to a plus b times x, right? I just grouped these two guys together and factored out an x. And we have plus 2a. So now, since these two expressions are equal to each other, and we have one term that has an x attached to it and one term that's a constant, well, in that case, then this 6x has to be equal to this a plus bx, and similarly, this 5 has to be equal to 2a. So now that we know that, we can solve for a and b, respectively. So 5 is equal to 2a. That's the easiest one to handle. So we have 5 is equal to 2a. So dividing both sides by 2, we get that a has to be equal to 5 halves. So now that we know that, let's take the other equation, the one that has the b. Well, 6x has to be equal to a plus bx, right? So 6 has to be equal to a plus b. So we have 6 is equal to a plus b, but we've already figured out what a is. So that means we have 6 has to be equal to 5 over 2 plus b. So now let's subtract a 5 over 2 from each side of the equation. We have 6 minus 5 halves is equal to b. And then simplifying the left, we can write 6 with a denominator of 2 so that we can have a common denominator. So we get 12 over 2 minus 5 over 2, and now that they have the common denominator, we can just combine them. So 7 halves is equal to b. So now we have our a and our b, or b and our a. And so going back up here, we wanted it to look like a over x plus b over x plus 2, right? So our final result is going to be, I'm going to write here, 6x plus 5 over x times x plus 2 is equal to a over x plus b over x plus 2, but we know what our a and b are, right? So a is 5 halves, so we want to put the 5 in the numerator and the 2 in the denominator. and b is 7/2, so 7 in the numerator and 2 in the denominator. And since that's all we need to do, then this is our final result.